Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, hello and I hope you're well. In today's video, we will be going over a video by Shaping Sarah on how we need to learn to appreciate our hair despite what others who look down on it may think of us.
Growing up, I would hide my hair. I never had my afro out. I never had my natural hair out. I only had braids or weave. Those were the two things I always had. Nobody ever saw my natural hair. Like, it just wasn't a thing growing up. And the reasons why I would hide my hair is I would claim back then, and I know a lot of girls can relate, but I would claim that it was to protect my hair. I want to protect my hair. I want to protect my hair. That's why I have it in weave. That's why I have it in braid. Baby, at some point it's like, you want to protect your hair, you just want to hide it from the world. Like, you have to be honest with yourself. Are you really trying to protect your hair, or you're just ashamed of it and you're trying to hide it? Be so for real right now. Now I look back and I'm like, no, I wasn't trying to protect my hair. I was trying to hide that shit. I was trying to conceal my hair.
I also went through a short phase in my journey from my first big chop where I hid behind braids and said it was a protective style because I was insecure. I do have a video where I share my natural hair journey. I agree with her that some people like to hide behind, oh, it's a protective style, but you never see what they are protecting. We always focus on those who wear wigs and say they do not love their hair, but rarely call out those with braids, even though they may also hate their hair. They just choose to hide it differently. These people who are avoiding their hair will always say they are protective styling, but will never protective style with just their natural hair, no added hair. If you refuse to do a protective style without added hair, then I think you might need to ask yourself why. I'm not saying you hate your hair at all. I'm saying that we really need to think about the decisions we make when it comes to how we choose to present our natural hair. For some, it's not that deep, but for others, it may be a serious thing that they need to sit down for and reflect. I think people also misunderstand what a protective style is, and some think it means it has to have added hair in order for your hair to be protected, which is not true. A protective style is any type of style that is low manipulation and also protects your ends. The most important part is that it protects your ends. We will talk about protective styles in a different video. And another way you can reflect on your decision to constantly have your hair underneath a wig or braids is look at the state of your hair. Some of you claim to be protecting your hair, but the hair you are protecting has been stuck at the same length for years. It's breaking, it's dry, and it's crunchy. You have neglected it. And if you are looking at your hair right now and you notice the things that I am talking about, I'm sorry to be the one to tell you, but you have not been protecting your hair. You have been avoiding it, and it shows because it has neglect written all over it.
And another reason why I wouldn't wear my natural hair is I used to say it was to not have to deal with my natural hair. Oh, I just don't feel like dealing with my natural hair. Like, I just don't want to deal with it. I don't want to deal with it. Why do we think of our 4C hair as something that we have to deal with rather than something that we have to care for? Do you understand the difference in the vocabulary there? It's a big difference. Why do we have to see it as something we have to deal with rather than it being part of our self-care routine? How we put makeup on. Why do we see putting makeup on as a self-care routine, but we don't see handling our 4C hair as part of our self-care routine? We just think of it as dealing with it, getting it out the way. Like, huh?
This is so true. I have said this many times before. Once you start looking at doing your hair as a part of your self-care routine, your mindset starts to shift. You no longer dread wash days or hate having to style your hair. We need to start using the proper term when it comes to how we take care of our hair. And it is a term that everybody else uses except for naturals, and that is hair care. We rarely hear people say natural hair care or just hair care when they are referring to the time spent doing their hair. It's always, I can't deal with my hair, or let me teach you how to deal with your hair, or handle your hair, or whatever, or it is too hard to handle. It's all in our head. Once we make the decision to start speaking more positively, the way we act changes as well. In any other aspect of your life, whenever you are not confident in doing something, you will tend to give yourself a pep talk, be optimistic and say things like, I will get it eventually, or you give yourself grace and say it will take a bit of time, or at least I'm trying and working towards it. But when it comes to natural hair, people just accept defeat. And I use the word defeat because some of you The way you take care of your hair, you see it as a battle you have to win. You see it as a fight that you're going into, when that should not be the case. Instead of you just saying, oh, I guess I couldn't do that hairstyle, or I guess I wasn't able to achieve that look, and move on with your life, you start moping around, especially on the internet. For some reason, a lot of you like to complain about your hair texture on the internet. I do have another video explaining that your texture is not the problem. It's probably the way that you do your hair. What I'm saying is, change the way you speak. It may seem insignificant right now, but I promise you, when you start speaking positively about your hair, you start to believe what you are saying. And once you start believing that your natural hair is beautiful and is not hard to take care of, you start treating it as such.
The thing about products for black hair is the companies that created these products, first of all, a lot of them are white owned. They're owned by white people. And second of all, they have kind of a mission to reinforce the fact that we hate our hair. So they capitalize off the fact that we, for decades, for years, we've always had issues with our hair, or with issues with accepting our hair, or issues with it being too far from the European standard. So they capitalize off of that, and they create products to make our hair get closer and closer to the European standard. So they come out with silk presses, they come out with perms, they come out with products to enhance your curl pattern, to make it looser. At the end of the day, all these things are just a way for us to get closer to the European standard. It is what it is. Silk press, perm, everything, all of that is just for us to get closer to the European standards. We are pressured to do so because we want to be accepted by society. That's just what it is. And if you get a perm, if you get a silk press, if you get all that, no problem. That's your hair and you should be allowed to do whatever you want with it. But at the end of the day, let's understand why we're doing it, and that's for that reason. I'm never against someone who wants to perm their hair or anything. It's not my hair. So you do whatever you want. You can have fun with your hair, you can experiment, it's your hair. But we have to be so for real about why we're doing it, and it is honestly because of that. Companies are profiting off of that. They see that and they're taking notes. They're like, oh, they don't like this about themselves, bet we're gonna make a product for this. And also, you'll notice that because our hair is seen as unruly, as unmanageable, we feel like we have to buy so many products to help manage our hair. The shampoo, conditioner, and leave-in conditioner, that's not enough. We need a special oil, a special detangler, special this, we need a special that. So all of these things are just a way to companies use to reinforce our insecurities.
I am so glad there are other naturals with coily hair who are speaking up more and more about how a lot of the products that are being marketed to us are always telling us, well, firstly, we don't need them, and also they are always telling us to make our curls pop, or how to get our hair to shine, how to this and how to do that, which in a lot of cases, the end result is something that manipulates our hair into something it does not naturally do. It seems as though some people do not understand that coily hair, and when I refer to coily hair, for those of you who do not know, it is 4C hair. Our hair will not curl, it will coil, hence the term coily hair. Think of a spring. No matter how many products you try or whichever technique you use, your hair will not turn out or curl the same way somebody with a looser texture will, even if it is somebody with 4B or 4A hair will. I know the hair typing system is trash, because it is possible for a person to have multiple patterns on their head, but I'm using it right now so that we have a general understanding of what hair I am referring to and the type of pattern it predominantly has. The point I am making is that not all coily hair will have coils that pop. You know, the way that some people are so obsessed with trying to get their hair defined or popped. That's what I'm talking about. That's the issue. What else? Oh yeah, not all hair will get defined or shine. My brother has coily hair too, and his hair does not shine, nor do the coils pop. I don't know how to explain, but he has no pattern. I think that's the only way I can explain it to you. And I know for some of you that may be shocking, but that is the reality for some people. Some people actually don't have patterns. I know African Hair Card has spoken about this before, so be sure to go check out his channel. So point is, not everybody can have coils that pop like how you want them to pop. My hair has coils that can get defined, but only at the back. The middle and front, that's not the case. I say this to let people know that it is okay that your hair cannot do certain things or look a certain way. It was never meant to do that in the first place. That's why it doesn't turn out the way you want, no matter the type of products you use or the amount of products that you use. I love the point she made about how companies are profiting off of our insecurities. They keep selling you products that promise you those things that you envy, knowing very well they are not achievable for you. And it is unfortunate that you continue to fall into that trap of buying product after product after product that will hopefully one day turn your coily hair into what looks like curly hair. I am very interested in hearing what you guys think about this particular point.
I just felt like randomly, you know what, let me actually make tangible steps to loving my hair. That's the day I decided to do that, and it was such a random day, but I just went with it. I went with my gut, I went with what I felt like doing, and at that particular moment, I felt like wearing my hair out. And then ever since then, I have been obsessed with my natural hair, and I've been wearing it out so much more than any other hairstyle. I felt so pretty. I felt so confident. I felt so beautiful. I felt like my facial features were so apparent. I was like, yo, f this, man. I'm a natural bitch now. I'm gonna be natural. Like,
if you want to start loving your natural hair, you need to start seeing yourself with it to really appreciate it for what it is. Wearing your hair out more will lead to you learning how to take care of it and style it better than you did when you were hiding behind protective styles. I feel the same way about my natural hair, that it accentuates my features and makes me more attractive. For instance, when I have my hair in a high puff, my features such as my eyes and cheekbones especially tend to look more prominent, which didn't happen when I had braids in. I do not know how to explain it, but everything goes together now. My face makes sense. And when I have my afro out, my face looks smaller, and not smaller, softer. Basically, my afro can shapeshift my face. And I have had short hair before. I've had a fade, and as I just mentioned, braids as well. I have put on a wig as well to try it out, and in all honesty, nothing compares to how I look with my afro. And this may be a cause of being more confident with your natural hair. You start looking at yourself differently with it and tend to prefer yourself with your natural hair. The same can be said with people who want their hair straight or in those braids. I mention this to make you understand that it all goes back to your mindset. Once you shift the way you think about your natural hair and stop allowing outside influences and to dictate how you feel, and actually take the time to learn your hair, you will start noticing that nothing beats the way your natural hair looks on you.
Loving my afro increased my confidence like crazy, you guys. There's something about not having to rely on external things in order for me to feel beautiful. Like, I don't have to rely on a pack of bundle to make me feel beautiful. And that level of confidence is next level, you guys. Ain't nobody can tell me shit at that point. And there's something about not having perfectly done hair every time that makes me feel 10 times more confident. Even if I'm wearing my afro, sometimes it doesn't look like this all the time. I have to like style it for it to look like this. But sometimes it looks spiky as it looks crazy, it looks wild, but I still feel pretty. And that is another level of confidence that I unlocked. Not only am I accepting my afro, but I'm accepting it in the worst forms too. I'm not accepting it only when it's perfectly rounded shape. Even when it's spiky, it looks cute. I still look cute. I don't know how to explain it to you guys. Like, it's just a vibe. It's just a feeling. It's an energy. It's an intention that I have with myself. I look at myself in the mirror. I'm like, yo, you look so fucking cute. Even with your spiky ass afro, your afro is not even combed through. Nothing is combed through, but you look cute.
I absolutely agree with this. The confidence I get from knowing I can step outside the house without thinking about getting my edges laid or having hair extensions to feel beautiful, even though my hair is only at neck length. You would think I would be uncomfortable with having my afro out, but it is quite the opposite. It's the opposite feeling. Because I have worn my hair outside in every state and at every length, I am confident, and I can tell you that nobody will actually look at you negatively the way some of you think. I have gotten so many compliments from all kinds of people with my natural hair than I have ever had when I was relaxed. And the reason for that is I wear my hair with confidence. If you stepped outside believing you are beautiful, and I'm telling you others will believe it too and treat you as such. I haven't learned how to shape my afros yet, unless it's in a puff, but I love how it looks when it's spiky as well. I've never once looked at my hair since I've started my second natural hair journey as something that takes away from my beauty, but rather I see it as a part of the reason why I am attractive and why some people view me as such. I know some of you are thinking, no, people only like coily hair when it's long, and that's not true. People like coily hair when people with coily hair wear it with confidence and when they like it themselves. It's all in how you carry yourself. Stop looking at your hair as a burden or something to avoid, and start looking at it as an enhancement of your beauty, and you will start appreciating how it looks, how it feels, and how it just naturally grows out of your head. I hope this video has helped you see the light and has convinced you to start appreciating your hair as it is. Do not forget to go watch the full video on Shaping Sarah's channel. I will have it linked in the description, and show her support by liking her video. And do not leave without sharing your thoughts down in my comment section as well.